You know Kaido has way too much pride to ignore this. Kaido's 100% like, oh, you think you're a big kid now, huh? Alright, fine. That's what Kaido's about to do. He has way too much pride for this, alright? He's going straight up to the rooftop. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff, not just reviews. We do discussions, plenty of stuff around here. So, with that being said, getting right into it this time, we start off with one little panel of Luffy still falling into the ocean. He's still there, don't worry. Most people called how he's gonna, escape. It was a submarine. I mean, like I said, most people called that. It was a huge thing. So many people said that. And yes, they were all right. Moving on from this, though, because it's just one little panel. We go back with Queen, Chopper, everybody on the live stage. And Chopper is pretty much at his ropes. Queen is still not hurt. It was made very apparent last chapter that Chopper's attacks were doing nothing but stalling Queen, and Queen was basically just playing along. And he does reiterate that later. But the more important thing is the message has now spread around about Luffy being defeated, and everybody's getting dejected. Chopper, I mean, he's young, he's emotional, that's who he is. All of the other samurai getting extremely dejected. And can we pause right here? What is Orochi's son doing right there? Like, don't think I don't see him. That right there, that's an informant. That's Orochi's son. That was the first thing I saw. I was like, why is Orochi's son sitting here with everybody else? Like, I just saw that dude, and that's exactly what it made me think of. I don't know why, but I feel like he just looks like Orochi. So, I had to point that out. We got his son in there. We didn't know he had a son, but he's got an informant. It wasn't just Kanjuro. Somebody get this dude out. Moving on to the next thing that I know everybody noticed. Sanji is literally swinging around my man Zoro. Just beating the hell out of people with him. That was probably one of the funniest things I've seen in One Piece in a while. As soon as I saw Sanji just smacking people with Zoro, I absolutely died. That was hilarious. But Izo's saying that was just a message to get at our morale. And Kawamatsu's also there. He says, yeah, we really can't confirm either way whether he lost or won. So really, that's all it is at the moment, is a message to get at our morale. And, well, unfortunately, we see from almost everybody that is working. Something else we see is the aftermath of the Dango plan if they don't make it to the live stage. This is really just going to be skipped over, and I'm sure it's not going to be a major point because they're going to get to the live stage. The Dango plan's going to work. But thinking about this more, if it doesn't, that's really bad because all they've done is just buff Kaido's forces. We have people that were fed Dango sitting there saying, man, we feel great now, and there's a samurai on the ground coughing about to freaking die. And I thought about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that Dango plan, that is either they succeed or it 100% backfires. So we really need to get to this live stage because right now, all that plan is doing is hurting our cause until it comes to fruition. So I kind of wanted to touch on that because that's something that will be skipped over very much. Probably because, well, they are going to get to the live stage. It's going to happen, I assume. Moving on from there, Queen has Chopper on the ropes, just completely taunting him. Perospero is continuing to rain down candy arrows, and we have a lot of people on our side, a lot of samurai saying, uh-oh, we're gonna die. If somebody doesn't save us from these arrows, we are all dead. So Queen is also about to kill Chopper. This is when we have quite possibly the other funniest moment of this chapter. Sanji comes in with Diable Jambe rotisserie strike on Queen. Now, this was hype. We need hype moments for Sanji, 100%. This was awesome to me. I loved it. As soon as I saw Sanji jump in, that was great. Because Sanji hasn't had the greatest Onigashima yet. So this was awesome. But 2, this was extremely funny if you really pay attention. Because, well, what is a rotisserie? When you cook on a rotisserie, the meat spins in a circle repeatedly until it's cooked. Sanji hits Queen in his Brachiosaur form with rotisserie strike. And Queen's head, yeah, you got it, spins around in a circle, blocking all of the candy arrows, and then eventually slamming into Perospero. That was the greatest singular effect I've ever seen from one attack, ever. That was hilarious. All he did was kick Queen in the face. And yet, he made a funny pun with the attack name, and blocked all the arrows, and hit Pero-Sparrow too. Yeah, Diable Jambe Rotisserie Strike A1. That was awesome. I loved it. And yeah, it took me a second to think about that whole rotisserie thing, spin in a circle. That's funny. So to finish off this section of the chapter, we have Sanji telling Chopper, "Don't cry, you idiot. Luffy's fine. We've seen this happen however many times. Have you forgotten all those miracles?" Sanji is not only talking to Chopper right now. Sanji's also talking to all of you people out in the fan base. You know who you are. Y'all gotta chill, okay? He also tells Chopper to take Zoro. Says if he recovers, he'll be worth 10 men. This part was also funny because Zoro finally pops up for once in this chapter, actually wakes up out of his slumber. Didn't wake up when he was being... Keep this in mind. Zoro was being used as a club to batter people with. Sanji was just swinging him around, hitting people. He was snoring during that. But as soon as Sanji says, oh, he'll be worth 10 men, Zoro immediately wakes up and goes, more like 2,000. You see why I love this man so much? This is also why I just love Oda's writing. He works all these tiny little funny things in. If you pick up on them, they're even funnier. If you don't pick up on them, they're still worth a chuckle. We also have a couple more samurais reacting to all of this. Well, Sanji also says, leave the dino to me, which we expected. Yes, Sanji gets to fight Queen. No, Chopper is not going to keep fighting Queen, as some people suspected. It was so clear last chapter that nothing he was doing was hurting him. What did they think he was going to go mega monster point? Anyway, whatever. I guess this does kind of trail off from the whole, oh, what are the side effects? But we can still get into that later. Chopper has more fighting to do after this. Anyway, moving on. We got Marco there looking at the samurai that are like, bro, he just heard his captain died. How can he be so chipper? And Marco's like, I've been around this block. I know what's going on, and this is why I like these guys, bro, right here. This is why I like them. And this is why I love you, Marco. You're great. Keep being you. And now we can move on to what, if you ask me, is probably the biggest or one of the biggest moments of this chapter. And this is back to Kaido and Kinemon and Momonosuke, all of this stuff going on. So Momonosuke is still being carried away by Shinobu, and Kinemon showed all y'all up. I gotta talk a little bit here, okay? Alright, I gotta talk a little bit here. Y'all wanted this whole, like, insta mega bonk shit? No. This is how Kinemon goes out. Right here. This is how he goes out. This is so much better than some dumb mega bonk insta death bullshit. Alright? This is great. This is a man that Kozuki Oden, a man born to boil, would be proud of. This man is hard-boiled, okay? To take a shot like that, and this is the appropriate reaction to the shot. He's not, oh, I took it with my hockey. No. It royally messed him up, and it put him on his deathbed, okay? But this hard-boiled man, Kinemon, still refuses to stay down, and in one last final effort of defiance, grabs a broken blade and tries his hardest to jam it into Kaido's leg. A Yonko, the man that just instantly put him from healthy to deathbed. We don't care. This is how you go out. This is a man that is made of pure hot sauce. Alright? This was incredible. And, honestly, no. Kinemon's not dead. I need to say this for all of the people that have forgotten, because we get reminded many times, but we all seem to forget. Alright? Kinemon will live on through Momonosuke, as Oden does. Keep in mind, the Foxfire style will also continue to live on through Zoro. So this man ain't dead. But really, when I am saying this, yes, his mortal coil is going to cease to live. But this is One Piece we're talking about, and I'm gonna have to take all of you back to one of the greatest moments in this series. When does a man truly die? Is it when he's shot in the heart with a pistol? No. Is it when he contracts a deadly disease? No. Is it when he drinks soup made from a poisonous mushroom? No. Is it when he is stabbed by a Yonko? No. A man truly dies when they are forgotten. And Kinemon will never be forgotten. This was a death scene I am entirely okay with. if this is the end of Kinemon, which I feel like it might be, the last panel we saw him in this chapter was Kaido kind of looking behind himself a little bit saying, take your death like an honorable samurai. And we see Kinemon there with the sword ran through him on the ground bleeding. I'm okay with this. This is a proper death. And it even connects to something Momonosuke says here in a little bit, which I want to get to now. Because Momonosuke and Shinobu keep on running, and Momonosuke has the frog that was transmitting their position. Because it turns out the person that was speaking to Momonosuke last time was Luffy. Luffy knocked out, still, I'm sure Luffy's still pulsing out Conqueror's Haki while he's passed out, like he has been all arc long. But he's also screaming out, using the voice of all things, telling Momonosuke this message that he gives to everyone, telling him he will be back. Fight until your dying breath. That is what Momonosuke said the message was. That's what Kinemon just did. Kinemon didn't need that message from Luffy. He heard the message of Luffy being defeated, and he died before the message from Luffy came out. He did exactly what Luffy said without being told that, without having to hear that message. Thinking back just a few panels before, that is exactly what just happened. That was beautiful to me, and I absolutely love that. So yes, this continues on. Momonosuke reassures everybody with the message that Luffy sent to him through the voice of all things. Tells everybody, everybody's much more reassured. We get a scene of everybody in the hall raising their swords up in defiance, having been revitalized by this message, because this is what Luffy does to people. This is that same power that Mihawk was so interested in back during Marineford. The way Luffy rallies people around him. No matter what happens, no matter what he's going through, no matter how beaten down he is. This is that special power that Luffy has. Moving on, everybody's revitalized, everybody's happy, and yes, the submarine found Luffy. Law's crew pulled it out in the end, found Luffy. But something I didn't necessarily expect, they were also getting hit with the voice of all things. Remember how the Sea Kings could hear Luffy talking under the sea, how they could hear Roger back in the day talking under the sea. The guys in the submarine could hear Luffy. Luffy sent out a huge pulse, or whatever, however you want to describe it. He was screaming with the voice of all things under that water, alright? Now, real quick for the last couple things in the chapter, what is going on with Nami's climb attack? Oda, you're gonna have a really, really tough time making me okay with whatever is going on with Nami's climb attack. I don't know if this is going to be some weird, lingering, Zeus at the very end. He was able to hold on to a little bit of his soul and combine himself with the climb attack. I don't know. But it's weird. I don't really like it at the moment. But, I mean, we're going to let Oda explain, see how it goes. Something I'm much more okay with. Law has decided to join Kid in the fight versus Big Mom. Kind of saw this coming last time we saw Law. He was still looking for Big Mom specifically. He even said so. So, Kid does not like this very much. I like this very much because I'm sorry, if Luffy can't beat Kaido, Kid cannot beat Big Mom. Sorry. That's just how it goes. So, Law joining in tells him, Kid, maybe we should just play nice for a little bit, considering, we're still fighting Yonko. Good point, Law. Good point. Way to think it through. And then, yes, we're going to get another 1v1 versus Kaido. Yamato made it to the roof, looks down, and sees her father, screams at him hey, up here, Kaido. He tries telling her it's father to you. She replies, no, those shackles had chained me for too long. I am making my freedom now. Deal with it, Dad. Sorry, Kaido. So, that was an awesome end of the chapter. I cannot wait to see where that goes. Kaido has way too much pride to ignore this. Kaido's 100% oh, you think you're a big kid now, huh? Alright, fine. Look. That's what Kaido's about to do. He has way too much pride for this, alright? He's going straight up to the rooftop, and this, I assume, cannot be off-screened like round 1 between Luffy and Kaido. This has to be something we're gonna see. Has to be. So, fingers crossed on that. I can't wait. This is so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like I said, and you're still around, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I'm out. I'll see you next time. Woo!